What is going on, 12? Week 15 of the NFL. The Seattle Seahawks are set to take on the Washington football team. The Seahawks are coming off a great win against the Jets last week as they improved to 9-4. And the Washington football team, who no one thought would be in the playoffs a couple weeks ago, now lead the NFC East with a record of 6-7. So here's my keys to victory as well as a preview to the game. Okay, so let's just get right into it. The odds for this week's game is the odd makers have the Seahawks by a 5.5 point favorite for this game. Let me know who you think is going to win this game and what the score will be down below in the description. Okay, so let's just take a quick preview by Seattle's last 5 games. They lose to the Rams 23-16. They win on Thursday night against the Cardinals 28-21. They beat the Eagles on Monday night 23-17, and then they lose to the Giants, a very disappointing loss, 17-12. And just last week they beat the New York Jets 40-3. What a blowout that was. That was a great win. I think that was one of those Seahawks games where I felt the most calm. But moving on from that, the Washington football team's last 5 games, they are on a roll. They started off by losing to the Lions 30-21. But then they go on to beat the Bengals 20-9, along with the Cowboys on Thanksgiving 41-16, and they upset the Steelers 23-17. And last week they beat the 49ers 23-15. So they're on a roll. They have a 4-game win streak. Let's hope Seattle can end it this week. My keys to victory to start off is to protect Russell Wilson. This defensive line for the Washington football team scares me, especially Chase Young. Chase Young, 35 tackles, 5.5 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles this year. That guy is an absolute predator. Last week against Nick Mullins of the 49ers, the Washington football team sacked Mullins 4 times with 12 quarterback hits. Their defense leads the NFL, or not leads the NFL, but they have 40 sacks this year, and that's tied for 4th place in the NFL. They're one of the best defenses in the NFL when it comes to getting to that quarterback. And as we know, this offensive line and Russell Wilson need to do a better job in protecting Russell. He needs to stop holding on to the ball too long. They need to protect him in the pocket, and Russell Wilson needs to stop getting sacked. Last week, however, Russell Wilson didn't get sacked a single time, which is very impressive. But that doesn't say much because it's the New York Jets, who don't have that strong of a defense or pass rush. So, as I said, the Washington football defense is crazy good. So, it's so important that we protect Russell, especially against this defensive line and Chase Young. Chase Young had 3 forced fumbles this season. 3 forced fumbles this season. My second keys to victory is to establish the run game early. You got to take pressure off of Russell Wilson and run the ball. As I said before, this defense is very good. Their pass defense, their record or their stats are 85.9 rating, which is 7th in the league, and 206.3 yards per game. So that's 3rd in the league. Their Washington rushing defense is 4.1 yards per carry, which is 10th in the league, and 107.2, which is 9th in the league. So what we gotta do is we gotta run the ball. We gotta keep a balanced offense. Don't let Russ throw it too much, because we know that leads to interceptions because he's putting too much pressure on himself. He's forcing the ball too much. Also, Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson, when they're both healthy, we know the damage they can do to defenses. So, and last week too, they did an amazing job. So it's so important that Seattle gets the run game established early and take the pressure off of Russell Wilson. My third keys to victory is to pressure Alex Smith. Alex Smith is coming off a calf injury. The Seahawks pass rush continues to improve from week to week. And Sam Darnold last week, they held him to 5.1 yards per attempt and a 68.1 rating. Very nice by the Seahawks defense. Washington's offense has allowed 40 sacks this year, which is tied for 27th in the NFL. So I expect that pass rush to get to Alex Smith My prediction for this week's game is the Seahawks winning 24-17. I do not think it's gonna be a blowout like last week, especially with this Washington defense. It's gonna be a close game, and I have a feeling it's gonna come down to the final drive. But yeah, I have the Seahawks winning 21-17. A quick look into the NFC West standings. The Rams lead 9 with a 9-4 record. The Seahawks following closely behind by a half game with 9-4 as well. The Cardinals in third place with 7-6, and the 49ers, who I do not think have a chance at the playoffs anymore, are 5-8. The NFC Playoff Picture. The division leaders, Packers, move up to first place after that Saints loss with a record of 10-3. The Saints are also 10-3, but they moved down to second after their loss last week to the Eagles. The Rams in third place, 9-4, and Washington football team, who jump into the lead of the NFC East with a 6-7 record. The wildcard spot, Seahawks are sitting in 9-4 on the 5th seed. The Buccaneers behind 8-5, and the Cardinals 7-6. The Seahawks can clinch a playoff berth this week with a win over the Washington defense. So there it is. If we win this week, we make it to the playoffs. We do not have to worry about getting eliminated. All we worry is to win that NFC West. But the first thing we need to do is clinch our playoff berth. The Seahawks remaining schedule: Week 15, Washington football team. Week 16, the Rams. And Week 17, the 49ers. Those are all winnable games. The Rams may be a tough one, but I still think that Seahawks can take down the Rams. So that's it for my Week 16 preview and my Week 15 preview and keys to victory. I'll see you with my game recap on Sunday after the game. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, like, share, comment below. It would mean a lot to me. And like always, go Hawks!